I've waited a long time to say this. What is up, everybody?
Let's get
and
it.
welcome back to the Run It Up podcast here on the Rise Network. I am your host, Najee Adams, and I got for the first time in probably 2 months or some shit, the guys with me, both of them, Mr. Khalil Baker, Mr. Justice Gregory. We've been busy. Khalil was in Hawaii for 2 weeks, big money man. Justice was fighting hurricanes and shit, being a dad, and I was just chilling. But we are back. So my boys, how are you doing?
It's been way too long. Way too long.
I'm phenomenal, brother.
Beautiful. That is beautiful. We are on a bit of a time constriction crunch or whatever. So today we're skipping song of the week. Constriction, crunch, restriction, whatever it is. We're making up words. Skip a song of the week, but I think it's the first time we've ever done that. But that's how you know this shit is real. But we cannot skip the plugs. So make sure y'all subscribe to the pod on the Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Spotify. Follow us on Twitter at Run It Up Pod. Follow us on TikTok. TikTok's coming back. We didn't have any relevant content, so we haven't posted TikToks. But after this, we should. So follow us on TikTok. I think it's at the Run It Up Podcast. Follow me on Twitter at Najee Adams _. Khalil on Twitter at Belil44. Justice changes his Twitter every 2 weeks, but I think it's like JReed2 or something like that.
Yeah.
There you go. There
Get
you
that just fitted out of there. That was not it.
He got peer pressured, but here he is.
I'm back.
He changed it.
And Justice Reed 2 was taken. I tried to go back to my original and it wouldn't let me.
Somebody got it real quick. That's why I'm never changing my shit. But yeah, make sure I do all that good stuff. Leave a 5-star rating and review. All of it is appreciated. And today we are talking basically everything NBA postseason. We're giving our NBA awards. We're doing our all NBA teams, and we're doing our little playoff preview. So by the end of the pod, y'all will know everything that we know about the postseason and what we think and all that good stuff. So you might as well go and dive on into it. Where do y'all want to start, player awards, or do y'all want to start first all NBA?
Wherever you want. You're the host.
Damn, what that's jeez.
Go awards.
That doesn't help at all. All right, let's go awards. So I feel like we shouldn't bury the lead. So let's just give our MVP, right? I feel like everyone's probably gonna have the same shit. This guy's bugging already. We're already on a different type of time. So all right, Justice, you shook your head and shit. Go ahead. Tell me who's your MVP, bro.
The MVP, and rightfully so in my opinion. He's not gonna win.
I know you're saying there.
You tweeted yours a long time ago.
I tweeted mine. You know who it is. Giannis is the MVP. At the end of the day, they got the best record in the NBA. He's 30-10-5 on 55% shooting. Never happened. The last time 30-10-5 happened on 50% shooting, that was Wilt.
Yeah, that's great.
30-10-5 on.
He's at 55, right? You said?
Yeah. So that last time 50% happened was at Wilt. 55 has never happened. So then to put that in perspective, the last 7 guys to average 30-10-5, the last 8, 7 of them won MVP. So the fact that
about to be 7 out of 9.
It's going to be 7 out of 9. But the fact that Giannis is not just like the overwhelming MVP is absolutely insane to me.
It's really weird to me how there's so much traction for Jokic, or there was for him to get a third MVP, but we've never gotten that for Giannis. It's just so weird. They're just tired of giving MVPs or even having a conversation about it for real.
I think that's what happens when you're the bona fide clear best player in the league.
Ask LeBron, bro.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like no one really regards Jokic as the best player. And I guess some people do think he's the best player in the league. But I think the overall consensus is Giannis is the best player in the league. So we're just we expect this out of him. But just because you expect greatness doesn't mean that you shouldn't reward it. Oh, I'm spitting right now.
It's his best season ever. So and Jokic, they've won 56 games?
They are 53-29.
53-29 as the 1 seed is the lowest win 1 seed in the last, I think it's 15 years or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like we're literally, and I get that guys with different records have won MVPs recently that go back to Russ and these guys who have won MVPs just for getting their teams in.
Back to Jokic, didn't Jokic just second MVP? There was the 6th seed or something.
Yeah, that's crazy. What I'm saying. Yeah, literally last year Jokic got the 6th seed. So, but if we're comparing resumes here, I mean, not only is Giannis historically amazing, he's also the better defender and the more valuable defender. And his team has the best record in the NBA. So it doesn't make sense to me why Giannis isn't the runaway favorite. And like I said, he's not going to win. But if both of you don't pick Giannis, I'm on timing because I'm gonna have to get an explanation of why it shouldn't be Giannis.
Giannis, best player on best team. That typically wins. I didn't pick him because I'm picking who I think is gonna get it. And so
no, you're supposed to pick who you think should get it.
I mean, I think Giannis is the best player in the league, and I think the argument is valid. But I'm not going to lie, bro. I feel bad for Joel Embiid because I low-key feel like he should have got that shit last year.
We're getting guilty. We've been guilted,
bro. I feel bad for my boy, but I don't. I feel like
all the time.
He's deserving. It's not like he's just getting blown out of the water by Giannis and Jokic. I think it's a 3-man race. I think most people have tried to make it a 2-man race. Most people don't even mention Giannis. I think the consensus is Jokic and Embiid. I decided to give it. I damn sure wasn't giving it to Jokic, even though he was my preseason MVP. And I was riding with it. I wanted to be right so bad, but I think the tides really switched. I think I think the way it went was like the beginning of the season. It started out as a lot of people had Steph, and Steph got injured. Tatum got it. Then Jokic held it for like 3 months, and then they had that head-to-head matchup on prime time, and then B went nuts. And I think that's kind of since then. I think people have kind of given him the MVP award. I gave it to Joel Embiid. He's 5th player in NBA history to average 33 and 10. You know how basketball.
Wait, the what player? The 5th?
The 5th, yeah.
Damn, it's crazy because Giannis is the first. The first.
Shout out to KD. First one averaged like 55, 40, 90 is crazy.
Impressive, super impressive.
That's insane.
47 games, right?
Super impressive. 47 games. I'm not.
It's just low sample size, but that's still nuts.
That's a good.
It's absolutely
that's a decent sample size though. Like it's nothing to like. I guess
it's not like you played 20 games.
But... okay, but that's almost barely over half the season.
No, I agree. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying that's
with the
nuts.
Suns.
Yeah, that's not going in no record.
Yeah,
books.
8 games with the Suns.
Yeah, 10 years we're not bringing up this KD season.
Nah,
even though he's been phenomenal. It's not gonna happen.
You know how so I'm about to get y'all a little bit of trivia. This kind of gives to my Embiid MVP argument, but I just kind of want to ask y'all. So they do that little game score thing where they give a game like a individual performance or score based
like
on
FIFA, like soccer.
Yeah, like based on how good they've done. So Embiid had the 10th highest game score of any game in NBA history this year. It was a 59-11, 8 assists, 7 blocks on 68% shooting. Insane stat line. There was 3 other top 10 performances this season. Can y'all guess what they were?
Donovan Mitchell, 71.
That was the 3rd highest in NBA history.
The other 71, whoever else did it. Who else scored 70?
That was the 5th highest in NBA history.
But there's another one.
There's one more.
Is it Luka, the 60?
Damn, this kid's insane. Yeah, it's the 60, 21, and 10. That was the 7th highest. So there were 4 top 10 all-time games, this like individual performances this season, which is just insane. And Embiid had number 10. I think for me, between him and Jokic, Jokic is just a walking offensive juggernaut. He's the hub of that Nuggets offense. They scored 124 points per 100 possessions when he was on the floor. That's 5 points higher than the leading Sacramento Kings offense, which is insane. I think between him and Steph, those are 2 walking just like offensive juggernauts, and like the way that you have to plan for them. And I'm not sure it's close with anyone else outside of those 2, but the gap on the defensive end for me between Jokic and Joel Embiid is just pretty monstrous. Jokic don't play a lick of defense. No matter what the advanced stats say, opponent shot 69% while he was the nearest defender, which is damn short low. You shooting 70% when Jokic is guarding you. That's kind of crazy. And so, yeah, I'm gonna give it to Joel Embiid. I think the Sixers are the 6 seed, the 3 seed. My fault. The 3 seed. They're 4 games behind the Bucks for the 1 seed. And Joel Embiid has been pretty dominant all season. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it to him. And he actually cares about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and give Joel Embiid my MVP.
He does care about
it. So out of guilt,
2 guys care about it.
So out of guilt, you gave it to him.
He's deserving though.
But is he more deserving than Giannis?
Is he more deserving than Giannis? Probably not, but hey,
okay, then he's not deserving. You can't have 3 deserving candidates.
No,
you can have 3
there
deserving.
There can be 3 deserving candidates.
I mean, you can rank them though, but they can all be deserving.
But is he generational though?
Oh my god,
yeah, but Joe Burrow is though.
But you can make an argument for Embiid and like not be, I guess, too upset about it. Well, you are, but
all right. So, Khalil, who's your MVP?
Real quick, I have a question. Why is there so much emphasis put on stuff happening at the end of the year? Like, just because it happened, like why? Like, I don't understand. And it's
recency bias, my brother.
It's insane. Like, it happens with the Mavs and then choosing to tank with 2 games in the season. And you get the Blazers benching.
They chose to tank with 8 games left.
back in March, and nothing's happening. Like, it's just so weird to me. And then again, this goes back to my point, the MVP. Like, there was a game where Embiid scored half of the Sixers points, right?
That was insane against the Celtics. They had 104 and he had like 56. That's crazy.
Didn't Giannis do that this season also?
I don't know.
Yeah, he also did that this season.
Damn, well, he don't get no clout. My son need to get his clout up because
he just hasn't done it recently.
But we're so that's my problem, bro. And Giannis is literally, and you mentioned it, like literally getting LeBron treatment when it comes to his records he sets, the statistical games he has. There was somebody, the guy I argue with on Twitter all the time. His name is Blake. He's one of my good friends in Campbellsville. But he's a huge Giannis. He's a Giannis hater. He's a LeBron hater. So we just don't see eye to eye. He's a KD stan. And I think Giannis had like 50 and like 15 or something like that. And he was like, do it against a good team. He just did it in game 6 of the finals, like 2 years ago. And then he does it all the time. Like he's like a walking 30 and 15.
Yeah, I mean, I think people kind of, I don't know. I think people kind of discount it or maybe take it for granted is the right thing because we just expect him to be like, that's what we expect him to do. Like Giannis is the best player in the league. So in a lot of people's minds, like, yeah, he's the best player in the league. So he should be doing that stuff. We're not going to reward you for doing what we think you should do.
But do you feel like people try to replace Giannis as the best player in the league every week? Because that's what it feels like. I don't actually.
I think I think a lot of people think he's the consensus. I think he is the consensus best player in the league.
I think his game isn't visually appealing. People try to find a way around it.
I think they used to do it, but I feel like I haven't heard a lot of talk about the best player in the league. I feel like maybe Giannis has it, but they're just generating the conversation somewhere else, like MVP, for instance, like not giving him his credit for MVP or even being in the conversation realistically. But they really just, I guess they accepted the fact that he is the best player in the league. I just don't hear a lot about it anymore.
Okay. Just wanted to see what y'all thought.
Personally.
No, for sure. Khalil, who your MVP, bro?
Is Giannis. Giannis is my MVP. For a lot of the reasons. But I just think stuff like that is weird too, though. Like the fact that Giannis has done this at some point, but I guess because it wasn't super recently or wasn't towards the end of the season, like we're not talking about it. And I don't think he's been appreciated this season as much as he needs to be, being who he is on both sides of the ball, especially with Middleton being out, being inconsistent that way, coming back and still, trying to get his feet under him. Like Giannis is, he's the Bucks, and there's a reason why every year they are mentioned for going straight to the finals. Like Riv today I think he gave the Bucks his highest score for their chances of making it to the finals. It's like 9 out of 10. Like
he thought we were crazy for that when he came on the pod before the season. That the Bucks not gonna get it, the Bucks.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure.
I mean, Rick still thinks the Warriors are winning the chip. So I mean, what are we talking about?
Do you think the Lakers are winning the chip?
I mean, absolutely. So
okay,
so what are we doing? What are we doing here?
You could put them in the same conversation, but I do have Giannis as being a difference maker. I think there is an argument for Embiid, and I'm not going to be upset if you do make that argument. As far as Jokic goes, I think he kind of just took himself out of that race just by himself, just not playing as much and just not really caring about it as much too. So I would have Giannis as my MVP though.
What I do want to say about the MVP thing is I think the whole narrative that, like, all right, once we give it to them, they've got to do something in the playoffs is completely overblown because people say that every year. People said that the first year Jokic won it, they did absolutely nothing. He won it again. Like, I don't think that matters to anybody when you say that in giving the award at the time. But when you get to the end of the next season and that person's averaging 30, 12, and 9, you're not thinking, oh, well, they got swept last year. Like, that doesn't matter. So I hate when people say that because it's like, yeah, you're saying we're going to give Joel Embiid the MVP this year, but if they don't make any noise, if Joel Embiid averages 33, 12, and 9 again, he's going to be in MVP conversations, regardless of whether or not they make the finals. So, like, that whole narrative is just overblown. But yeah, so I was shocked that I shouldn't be shocked because y'all love you some Giannis, but those are MVP picks. We could just go on and get to a quick one here. Rookie of the year. I know this is unanimous. Unless y'all got Mixie and picked old boy from the Thunder. I think Paolo Banchero is
Easily,
the rookie of the year. I think he's easily been the best rookie.
He might win unanimously. So
he might. I know a lot of people like Jalen Williams.
But you can't compare the rookie seasons. It's not close.
The workload is nowhere near. Like, Paolo's been the guy on that team from day one. Yeah. Average 20 points per game. Jalen Williams has been good with and without Shea for his, like, in his defense, but I just think it's two different levels. Paolo's a future superstar, I feel like. And so he wins all of our rookie of the years.
Well, he had one really bad month.
He had one, and the Magic, I feel like, outperformed a lot of expectations.
Mm-hmm. I thought they were a fringe playoff team this year. So
they were in the second. They beat the Celtics 3 times. So I mean,
like going into the season, I had them as a fringe playoff
you did?
team. So yeah. Also, I'm just a huge Markelle Fultz guy. So
shout out to him. He definitely had a little career resurgence.
He's gonna get paid.
For sure.
He's already on contract though, right? For a little, at least a little bit more.
Okay. I think he's got another 2 years left, but he's gonna get paid as soon as he gets done.
That was a great move on their part. Like seriously.
Yeah, that is.
Get Cole Anthony up out. And who else? Suggs, get him up out.
Do you like Franz?
I love Franz, dude.
Okay.
Anytime you can get 2 wings who can score and facilitate, like Franz and Paulo.
Banchero,
Push a P. Anytime you can get 2 wings of that caliber who are that size, it's so much easier to build a team because you have
finishing.
It's like it's just so much easier to build a team. And
so would you take Franz or Josh Giddey?
Probably Franz. And
I know you hate Josh Giddey.
I'm not a big Giddey guy. He's grown on me this year. I think he's been better than I thought he would be. The efficiency is not as bad as it was. I love the way he simplifies the game. I'm actually like falling in love with the fact that nothing about him is fancy. Everything he does is just like
I tweeted he has no bag, but he be getting buckets.
It was hilarious. He tweeted he had no bag, and then he had like 33, 10, and 33. 9. So like there's just things you have to appreciate about Giddey. And Franz, I don't think is near the playmaker. But I feel like Franz probably has a higher ceiling to me. So I would probably side with Franz if I had to pick one for the Lakers to have at this point.
Oh, shit. Okay. We could go ahead and knock out a unanimous one. Coach of the year.
Mike Brown.
And when you end a 16-year playoff drought, longest in professional sports, like you got coach of the year.
I didn't care if he was going to play it. I was going to go for it.
You got coach of the year. It's Mike Brown. Did y'all do a clutch player of the year or not?
I did.
I feel like that's another unanimous one.
Yeah, it's unanimous.
Boom. De'Aaron Fox. I feel like he's had this locked for months.
Since the second month of the season.
Since it got announced, he's had it. And like well deserving. He has 23 more clutch field goals than anyone else in the league, 61.4 true shooting percentage, second high usage rate in that time. He's just been their guy, their go-to guy in the clutch. And they're the 3 seed, so it's been working for them. So De'Aaron Fox about to win the inaugural clutch player of the year. One I'm interested to hear y'all's thoughts on, most improved.
Okay, so here was my thought process.
Mm-hmm.
Shea has been amazing, but Shea was already amazing.
Thank you. He averaged like 25 last year.
Shea was already really good. So he took a leap from star to superstar, which more power to you. Lauri took a leap from bust to all NBA player. So it's got to be Lauri Markkanen. And if to me, that's not a debate.
Do you think there's an argument for Shea though?
No,
because I wrote both down. I wrote both down like when I was drafting this up. You don't think there's an argument from going from star to superstar, especially, or even if the leap is as big as it was. Like it was a big leap.
No, it was a big leap, but I feel like I think everyone expected Shea to eventually be all NBA kind of guy, maybe not all NBA first team, but like all NBA caliber player. I think that's what most people expected from him.
Like Khalil, if Shea made an all-star game last year, you wouldn't have been shocked.
No.
Yeah.
That's
he averaged 25 last year.
If I told you if I told you this offseason, Lauri Markkanen's going to be on the all NBA team, everybody would have said you were drunk.
100%.
And that's why I know you're the most improved.
It goes back to how you define most improved. What Ja got it last year, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
which is stupid.
Which is crazy. He was the second pick in the draft.
which doesn't make sense. So like it goes back to your definition of most improved. Like, and if that's your definition, then Shea wouldn't get that. But I think Shea has a better case than Ja had last year.
He does. So, yeah, he does.
100%. I mean,
it just goes back to I'm just playing devil's advocate here. So
no, Shea's just better than Ja. So
yeah, and I think like team success wise, like they were the second youngest team in the league. No one expected anything of them, and they're 1 win away from being the 8 seed. So like that,
and they're going to win that game.
I actually take the Wolves. I think
y'all want them to win that game.
I think the Wolves win.
I want them to win that game.
I'd be cool if they won. I just think the Wolves win.
I think either of those teams give the Nuggets. We'll get into that later. But
me too. But I'm right with you. Hey, whatever. But yeah, I take Lauri Markkanen. I think both guys took an obvious leap, but Lauri Markkanen had 28 double-doubles across the last 4 years of his career. He had 28 alone in this season. He went from 14.8 to 25.6 on damn near 50, 40, 90 percentages. He shot 50, 39, 88. Like, if you would have told me last year Lauri Markkanen might be a 50, 40, 90 guy, I'd have been like, Lauri Markkanen.
On what volume? 6 shots a game?
Exactly. And then I was doing a little bit of research. The craziest shit I found was he ranks first in points per touch in the entire NBA amongst players that appear in 50-plus games. For the record, Joel Embiid is 4th. For the record, Lonnie Walker is 5th. But Lauri Markkanen is first in points per touch. So Lauri Markkanen is a bucket, a damn near average of 26 per game, should be all NBA. And so, yeah, I feel like there's really not a debate in this one. He's my most improved, but I understand people wanting to give it to Shea, especially after Ja got it last year.
I just can't do it.
Yeah,
I just can't.
Honestly, I haven't even officially made a decision about this. Like, I see the argument for both. Like, I see the argument for Shea taking that big leap like he did. Also, if you go back to just the definition of it and what happened last year with Ja, and then Lauri, what I think the true definition of most improved would be Lauri Markkanen. Like to go from where he was in the league and where he is now and where he's going.
Got you.
So it would be Lauri Markkanen for me as well.
The one that I struggled with the most is probably DPOY for me. I struggled with DPOY. It was between 3 people, really, for me. I was not giving it to a guard, even though Jrue Holiday's deserving. I was not giving it to a guard. And so it came down to Jaren Jackson, Evan Mobley, and Brook Lopez. I then eliminated Brook Lopez because I figured his best asset is rim protection. And Jaren Jackson's a better rim protector than Brook Lopez. So by default, if Jaren Jackson's better than you at what you're best at, you gotta go. So I came down to Jaren Jackson and Evan Mobley. I ended up going with Jaren Jackson Jr. I just think his ability to disrupt a game is bar none. I think when you look at his versatility, I think Evan Mobley's a more versatile defender. Like, I think you can bring him outside of the paint, and I like my chances of Evan Mobley getting a stop more than like Triple J, but I don't think Triple J's a bad guy. Like, he can get you a stop out there. So I don't think the gap in like perimeter defense between those two is as large as the gap in rim protection. Like, I think Jaren Jackson's a way better rim protector than Evan Mobley is, and I don't think Evan Mobley's that much better of a perimeter guy than Jaren Jackson is. So I ended up giving it to Triple J. There's a whole bunch of fucking stats that back it. I don't want to sit here and rattle them off, but I'll rattle a few. He could test 40.5% of the shots at the rim. That's 92nd percentile. Blocks 46% of his contests. So damn near half the time he's contesting, he's blocking a shot. That's insane. He saves 20.1. He saves 2.1 points at the rim per 75 possessions. So like, he's just an absolute rim stopper, like rim protector. Everything you're not scoring when he's in the paint most of the time. So I'm gonna go ahead and get mine to Jaren Jackson. Who y'all got though? Because I was really torn.
I want to give shouts to a couple people here, because if Marcus Smart won a Defensive Player of the Year, then Jrue Holiday has to get one at some point. No offense to Marcus Smart, Jrue Holiday is a better defender in every sense of the way. Like the in every phrase, word, however you can put it, it's Jrue.
Yeah.
Jrue is the best guard defender we've had in this league, maybe in the last 20 years. I'm not even kidding. And from a point guard position, I'm not including Jordans and Kobe's in that. Moving on from that, shouts to Bam, because regardless of what's going on, I think Bam is still my favorite big defender in the league. I think he's the most versatile on switches. I think he can not just hang with guards. I think he can stop guards. Like most bigs were like, hey, we give him credit because they made it tough on a guard. Bam literally is just switching on to a tougher defender more often than not. You're not seeking out Bam. And Bam's an elite rim protector. So if I had to pick somebody to anchor my defense, I'm still picking Bam over all of these guys. But for this season alone, the award is Triple J's to lose. Triple J is amazing. What he does for that team, especially with Steven Adams out, and being able to hold that down and standing probably 6'9". Like he's really not huge. So it's all about timing and just meeting people at their pinnacle all the time, or meeting people early before they're comfortable. And I just think Triple J does that as good or better than anybody in the league. And Brook has been awesome, but he's got the best weak side help in NBA history, probably. Like,
he's got 2 all-NBA first team defenders.
So third best on his team. Yeah.
So we've got Drew, and then Giannis is on the weak side. If you just happen to get past Brook, you got to go deal with Giannis. Or if you get past Giannis, you got to deal with Brook. That's so insane. Like, I beat Drew off the dribble. Shit. Here's Giannis. Euro step Giannis. There's Brook. Yeah. So it's got to be Triple J's. And you rattled off the numbers. He's been insanely valuable to that team. Irreplaceable. My only issue is he can't stay in games. He fouls out
Lakers
often,
in 6,
or he's in foul trouble often. I do think that'll play a part in the Lakers series because Anthony Davis draws fouls at a pretty good rate, and it's tough to deal with.
Just you wait.
So
I got some shit. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Cannot wait.
Anyways, so yeah, it's Triple J for me.
Who you got, Khalil?
When did the talk for Mobley come up? When did that first happen?
I think people started looking. I think people started. Well, that spreadsheet got leaked with like all the people that are voting all their votes, and he got out to like an early start. So I think people then started to look into like analytics, and there's a lot of analytical stats that like back Evan Mobley and how versatile of a defender he is. And this is not to say that he won't win one. Like I think he's a top 5. Yeah, I think he'll win more than one. But just right now, I think what Jaren Jackson's doing is like historical shit. Like Brook Lopez led the league in blocks, and Jaren Jackson had 4 less than him in 15 less games. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So
also, do you think there's more traction because he's on the Grizzlies? I feel like that has something to do with it sometimes when it comes to Grizzlies players not getting exactly as much respect as they should. But I do have Triple J. I'd love to not do that sometimes just because I do have that bias against the Grizzlies sometimes. But I don't know. What he is doing is historical. The stats are, remarkable. I love Evan Mobley. I'm a huge fan. It just isn't the right time. And I just feel like the traction he's gaining has been, it's just felt really recent, and maybe a little bit of reaching just because of Jaren Jackson. The minutes thing has been huge for a lot of people, and also just being on the Grizzlies. And I don't think the minutes thing is as big as it was last season either. So
neither do I. It's also not unprecedented for people to play that amount. Like Kawhi won it back in 2015, 2016.
Right, yeah.
He didn't play that many games. Rudy Gobert in 2017, 2018 played like 60 games. Like it's not the first time that anyone's ever doing this.
It's not abnormal. Like they've all been doing the same thing, and then the rotation is just a little bit different. And I just think there is legitimacy to like he deserves this, and the minutes is not like a huge argument like it would have been last season, I think.
Exactly. And so boom, we've been unanimous outside of Giannis, I think. And so last but not least, 6th man of the year. I would love to know who y'all have. I think it's a 2-man race. And so who did y'all land with?
I really struggled to get my Kentucky bias out of the way here. I love me some Quickly, and I loved him at Kentucky. I think he's been an effective player from the second he came to the NBA. Defensively, he's much better than he's given credit for, actually.
He's a really good defender.
Yeah, and like considering frame size, doesn't even make sense that he defends the way he does at this level. But at the end of the day, what Brogdon has meant to the Celtics is absolutely unreal. I think you can make the argument that Brogdon's been the 3rd best player for the Celtics this year. if not fourth.
I don't even think it's an argument. I think he
has.
Yeah,
Derek White's been really good this year.
Another great defender
too.
Top
3, top 4. You can interchange Derek White.
Yeah. And I don't know that. I don't know. You say Brunson, Randall, then what? Quickly?
Yeah, because RJ is a little bit weird.
That's what I'm saying. So like, it's just, but to me, it just you give the nod to Brogdon. How efficient he is and has always been, and what he's meant to them off the bench and the position they needed. I mean, like a guy like Marcus Smart and Derek White aren't exactly your ideal point guard, and Brogdon can play that role for them. He can play with the starters. He can head up your bench unit. And Quickly's more of I know their numbers are similar, but Quickly's more of a legit scorer than he is more of a playmaker. He's just got the ball in his hands enough to get the output. So yeah, I would go Brogdon.
I think there's a real narrative to Quickly and what he's been for the Knicks. I don't think it's been all season per se. I think it started at a certain point. I think it's really gained some traction. I think there's real validity to that. But I will have to go to Brogdon. I think it's been all season. I think he's been huge for the Celtics. Anytime I've watched the Celtics, like he is, one of the best players on the floor. He's very consistent for them, very reliable, and he's filled in spots where they needed those spots. We talk about Marcus Smart, even just with his injuries and just being in and out of the lineup. Like I think he's been huge for him. He's been huge for that team, and they've had a lot of weaknesses themselves as a team that have showed this season. Especially with like the coaching and that being so new. But I do think there's some validity to the IQ. I love IQ as well. I think he's been huge for the Knicks. He's filled in great spots too. I just think it happened a little too late to have much of an argument against Brogdon.
Yeah, for me, I really wanted to pick Emmanuel Quickly too, but I ended up going Malcolm Brogdon. Celtics are in a different stratosphere of team than the Knicks, and I feel like he's really important to what they do, and I think they're in part of the reason why they're in that different stratosphere is because of what he provides for them. Also, stats wise, he's been really good. He shot 44% from 3, which is pretty nuts. Big bounce back from last year where he shot 31.2. So he definitely got in the lab, definitely got in the gym, and yeah, for me is Malcolm Brogdon. I think like Quickly is deserving of it though. Like I wouldn't be shocked if he won it. It's a 2-horse race for me. Brogdon also has come off the bench every game that he's played in. I think Quickly started like 19 games or something. So yeah. I don't know if they'll debt him for that, but I picked Malcolm Brogdon.
And he's had some huge games, man. Like some really big games for the Knicks.
He just had like 40, like 2 weeks ago.
Like he's done that multiple times. So like it's just that's gonna help him out a lot.
Boom. So those are our NBA awards. I guess we can move on to all NBA teams. Should we? All right, we'll start at first team. Obviously, see, I was looking at people's all NBA teams and they were just doing whatever they wanted. They was like, "Oh, I'm gonna put Luka at forward."
That's how it'll be next year. So
that's how it'll be next year. But I was actually trying to make it realistic. They was like, "Oh, I'm gonna put Luka at forward." I saw someone on Yahoo had Jokic and Embiid both with Embiid at forward. I'm like, all right, what are we doing? Like, that's not happening.
Luka ain't no forward, man. He's not a forward.
That's what I'm saying. He's
and Embiid sure
technically eligible at guard and forward, but like AD is eligible at forward and center. AD's played 99% of his minutes at center. I'm not putting him at forward. So it's like, but yeah, my first team is Shea, Donovan Mitchell, Giannis, Tatum, and Embiid. For me, I wavered back and forth. I've been thinking about this for a while. And so I ended up landing on this. Shea, youngest guard to average 30 on 50% field goals since Jordan. That's crazy. They only went 40 and 42. I feel like Shea is the one that I feel like I have to justify. The Thunder only went 40 and 42. Like I said, when we was talking about his most improved thing, he carried the second youngest roster in basketball to 1 game away from the playoffs when half the people projected him as a bottom 3 seed in the West. Dame and Luka, who I'm pretty sure a lot of people have on their all NBA teams, they average more points to him. Both their teams didn't make the playoffs, and both their teams had way higher expectations coming into the season. So I'm going to go ahead and give maybe not the Blazers, but the Mavs. Okay. The Mavs for sure.
I'm just making sure.
Do you remember we were talking our projected standings and people had the Mavs as like a 4 seed, 3 seed.
I did.
What do we? Oh, I thought that's one thing I hang my hat on. I knew they was trash.
Same.
And so yeah, I have Shea in my all NBA first team, 31-5-5 on 50, 34, 90, played 68 games. I did take games into account. No one on here on any of my teams played less than 55. And everyone on my all NBA first played at least 60. So that's why I went with that. And yeah, that's my only.
Oh,
NBA
wait,
first.
no, I had the Mavs at 7.
Oh, see, there you go. I was like, in my head, I was like, I know you was not. I know, didn't Riv have them high? And I remember it being like, yeah, you're bugging. But all right, so who your all NBA first team, Just?
So all NBA has historically been a statistical award and not so much a record award. I think it's just highlighting the best individual players, which is where you classify all NBA and MVP. Mm-hmm. So my first team is Shea. Before Dame decided to just sit out the season, it was Dame. Sure. But he sat out, so he slid for me. Shea, Luka's numbers are absolutely insane.
They are.
Regardless of record, I can't be mad at Luka. Like he did his job. He just can't guard anybody. But outside of that, I think it's everybody's is Tatum, Giannis, and Embiid. If you go Jokic, I can't be mad at you either. But yeah, Shea, Luka gets a nod over Don for me. Actually, Don almost slid on 13 for a second, but I had to rethink it. So yeah, Shea, Luka, Tatum, Giannis, and Embiid, and there's no conversation to be had for the Shea, Tatum, Giannis, and Embiid. So
agreed. Khalil, who you got?
It's my first team as well. Shea, Luka, Tatum, Giannis, and Embiid.
Beautiful.
That's my boy right there.
I'm clearly the odd man out here. For me, my second team is Steph Curry, Luka, LeBron. LeBron James, Steph Curry, Luka, LeBron, Julius Randle, Nikola Jokic. I know a lot of people took Julius Randle out because he did miss, I think, like the last 2 weeks of the season. But for me, he played 77 games. He would have ended up playing 82 games like that. That's way more, considering like everyone else on this list. That's way more than most of the people on here. Steph averaged 29, 6, and 6 on 49, 43, 91. He only played 56 games, but I mean, it's one of his better, this is a great season for him at 32, 33, 34 years old. I don't know how old he is, but a beautiful season out of Steph. And the Warriors made a late season little push. And I barely took Luke off my first, so he was slotted in here regardless. I feel like this is about as low as you can have him. I don't blame anyone that has him on 1. I ended up putting him to 2. 32, 8, and 8 is crazy. Can't guard a soul, but 32, 8, and 8 is nuts. LeBron, 29, 8, and 7 on 50, 32, 77. He ended up playing 55 games. Broke this all-time scoring record. Come on, Lakers 7 seed. What are you doing, man? He the second, averaging 30 at 38 years old is crazy. So you're going into my second team.
You're giving him lifetime achievement awards.
You're going into my second team. Averaging 30 in year 20. Julius Randle, 25, 10, and 4. And I feel like if Jokic wasn't on first, he got to be on second. So that's my little explanations. Who y'all got?
My second team is Donovan Mitchell. Obviously, him and Luka swapped. So I got Don at the guard, and then I have Dame. I think about Dame. Dame was voted as a top 75 player of all time, and this was his best season of all time. So if I can't find a spot for you in the first 2 teams, I'm insane. And it's not his fault that ship sank. They started out hot. That roster is not – Nurkic is just not even like a – dang near not playable anymore. He's terrible every time I watch them play. And then you get into guys like Jeremy Grant who fit for a while, but they're just young and it's not a spot for them to succeed. And then I went Jaylen Brown with Julius Randle and Jokic. I can't justify LeBron being 17. I just can't. I can't do it. So JB has been astronomically better than he was last year.
Yeah. And
he was great last year. And they're a much better team than the Lakers. So
yeah, I mean, we'll see. All right, Khalil, talk.
We're both Laker fans. Let's keep this in mind.
Yeah, I'm just way more. I used to be way more cynical about it, but give me a little bit of success and I'll roll with it. So, Khalil, who you got second team?
All right, I got Steph, I got Mitchell, I got Brown, Randall, Jokic for my second team.
Say it again.
Go again. I got
same
Steph,
as you, but he got Dame.
Mitchell, Brown, Randall, Jokic.
Okay.
Boom. So far we've all had the same players, just different versions, like different pairings for them. All NBA third team for me, I was struggling to put this man on here, and it's not that he's not deserving. I just felt like there had to be someone better, but there wasn't. The only other person I could have put was Ja, but he actually had a worse season than he did last year. A little bit of a down year for him. I ended up going De'Aaron Fox, Damian Lillard, Lauri Markkanen, Jaylen Brown, Domantas Sabonis. I would have loved to put Anthony Davis on here. I swear, if he would have played, he picked the wrong year to switch to center, but I just couldn't justify it. It truly took everything in my power.
You had been trying to justify. You and me talking.
I thought you were going to do it.
I have been trying to justify, but when I Domantas Sabonis played 23 more games than him, almost 1,000 more minutes than him, shot better from the field and from deep, although he only shot 2 threes per game. He had 0.2 less rebounds, and AD didn't qualify, so he ended up leading the league in rebounds. And he averaged way more assists, obviously. Obviously, AD's better on the defensive end, but it's not like Domantas Sabonis is some slouch when it comes to counting stats. 19, 12, and 7, 3 seed. I just couldn't. I feel like I already kind of let my Lakers bias in with LeBron on the second team. So to snub Domas, I just felt like he's got to be on there. I think Anthony Davis is a better player, obviously, but just body of work in this season, I feel like you can't snub Domantas Sabonis. So that's my third team.
Good job.
Yeah, so I have Fox. When we were originally doing the All-NBA episode, which was 3 weeks ago, maybe, I had Fox second team. What he has meant to Sacramento and what Sabonis has meant is absolutely insane, because it is those two and then just a field roster of guys who have not really had
Malik
success.
Monk and Harrison Barnes and Kevin Huerter.
So and Huerter's haven't had a career year. Monk has been amazing.
Keegan Murray, most threes by rookie.
Yeah. So Fox had to get a nod from me. He's the engine that makes that team go. Him and Sabonis. I don't, as a 1-2, I don't know it like a more like clear, like this is what makes it happen all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, it starts there and ends there every possession. There's not really like a third option that they can just go to. Monk is probably the closest thing they have to it. Then I went Steph. If he had played more games, he would have got a second team nod from me. He still ended up playing over 55, 56 games?
56.
Like 56 games. I had a real debate here between LeBron and Jimmy Butler. But the Lakers got a higher seed. So I ended up going LeBron. Lauri had to get in for me. I considered Jimmy over him as well. Jimmy was really good this year, man. I mean, efficiently, he was like 50, 36, 80 or something like that. So, I mean, like, that's a really good efficiency year.
Especially when you consider what's been going on over
there.
Like, it's been a tough year.
They stink. And Jimmy's done what he could to hold it together. I think 24 a game is pretty high for him. Like, it's not something he typically is doing. Like he's been 22 the last couple of years. So to make that jump to 24, 25 a game. But I ended up siding with Lauri, the 50, 38, whatever, 88. And that jump, he had the agenda for me to push. And then Sabonis, I think, is, if there was like a unanimous for a third team, Sabonis will unanimously win third team All NBA center. So
it just sucks to me that AD wasn't an all-star and he's not all NBA and he's probably not going to be all defense. It's just dumb because he had a damn good year. Like he did. He had so much of a better year than he did last year. Like he really had a bounce back season.
Because you know why? Because he doesn't settle for threes.
Oh, and he doesn't settle. So like I told y'all in the text messages, cleaning the glass is crazy. I just been on there just looking shit up for the whole day, like the whole day, basically. I just bought it for shits and gigs. And like, it shows you like their percentages, like the amount of their frequency on each spot in the court. Like, so how many shots they're taking at each spot. And so like AD's long midi percentage is way down from last year. And his amount of attempts at the rim is way up. And what have we been saying the whole time? Stop settling for long mid-range jump shots and get to the basket. And that's what he started doing this year.
He's the best at the rim big in the NBA to me.
Offensive rebounds, just
like that.
The rebounds have been crazy.
Yeah, the skill set, the right and left. He still has the handle, like the quickness. I think him slimming back down a little bit because he's not near as big as he was last year. Was good for him.
And braiding the hair. Braiding the hair.
When he plays on his hair braiding, he is trash.
That's real.
I swear it's a real thing.
I'm so glad he's not shooting threes at a high clip anymore. It came to a point when AD first got here and he shot threes. I was like, that might go in. It came to a point when he shot threes. I was shocked if he made it. So I'm glad he's decided to quit settling so much this year and realize what his talent is and how dominant he is whenever he has the ball on the block. But I still can't give him the nod. He didn't play enough games.
No, not at all. Chloe, did you give us yours, bro?
Yeah, I got Dame, I got Fox, I got Braun, Laurie, Sabonis for my third team.
So I think we ended up all having
the same
group of players. Just
did either of you all consider Jimmy at all, or y'all didn't really look that way?
I thought about it. I just couldn't, like, if he was going to take anyone's spot for me, it would have been Laurie or Jaylen Brown. And Laurie was getting on here regardless. So it was either Jimmy or Jaylen Brown, and the Heat suck. And Jaylen Brown's averaging 27, 7, and 4. So I ended up giving it to Jaylen Brown, but Jimmy was in consideration.
When these come out, I almost guarantee you Laurie doesn't make it.
Jimmy Butler, well, because like the national media loves him, some Butler.
Jimmy's gonna make it.
Yeah.
Jimmy's gonna make it, and I think he deserves it. Like he's had a great year. I feel
like I've heard someone say, Laurie's gonna he got the All-Star. He's probably gonna get Most Improved, maybe, and then probably fall off of the All-NBA team. I think that had something to do with wins too. So like. Something to do with players getting too much and then trying to get.
I wouldn't be shocked if Julius Randle didn't make it.
I'll be shocked if Randle doesn't make it.
I wouldn't be shocked.
Nick needs to make it.
True. I know. I think LeBron's a lock. Whether second, third, whatever.
Yeah,
I think he's definitely gonna make it. Those are all NBA teams. And so that brings us to our NBA playoff predictions, guys. It's gonna be fun.
Can we just start in the East, bro? I'm not even ready to hear your Laker rant yet.
Oh yeah. I was gonna start in the East anyway.
Okay, thank you, God.
I feel like first we should just decide who do we have at the 8 seed. For me, I have the Bulls. I think the Bulls beat the Heat, so they end up being my 8 seed. I think they've been playing really good as of recently. Like since the All-Star break, they have like the best defense in the league. All of a sudden, Pat Bev went over there and started playing defense. So obviously Alex Caruso is all defense. He's an all defensive caliber player.
He'll make first team.
Yeah. And then you got DeRozan and Levine. So I think the Bulls end up winning. DeMar DeRozan's daughter will not be at the game. That was nuts, by the way.
That was so insane.
That was insane. Awesome. I was like, what the fuck? But so yeah, I got the Bulls as my 8 seed. Regardless, they're not making it out the first. So, but Khalil, who do you have as your 8 seed?
I got the Bulls beating the Heat as well. I haven't been a big fan of the Heat all season anyways, even coming into the season. And I just think it's, about that time. I think some people have been talking about them maybe blowing it up at some point. Who knows? I don't know what's going to happen. And there's always talk coming from like Heat sources about them getting like some big player in the market or something. And it just never happens. But I'm just not big on the Heat, and the Bulls have been great. Zach LaVine has been awesome. I traded him to you in a fantasy, and I miss him all the time. But I love LaVine. I love what the Bulls are doing, and I don't think they're going to lose to the Heat. So
LaVine had like a 1-year stretch where he was like debatably the best shooting guard in basketball. So to see him playing at this level again and healthy, I think is what matters for him, and being comfortable. I think his health has been an issue the last couple of years. So for him to feel good again is nice. I'm still taking Miami. They've been there.
I just remembered something, but go ahead.
God. What?
No, it was I was thinking about the Lakers series while you were talking, and I was under the impression that you had also taken the Lakers, but I remembered that you took the Grizzlies.
Yeah.
So that made me chuckle.
Anyways, Miami. I'm taking Miami. They've got a little bit more experience. That team's been there, and Jimmy has a knack for kind of willing something out of a roster. The one thing that bothers me is that as soon as like the month of April hits, Bam turns into an absolute idiot on offense. Has like no
Kendrick Perkins.
It's crazy because he took strides offensively this year. Like he was just better, and then it turned April,
and then he wasn't,
and then he's just not.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make sense. He loses all sense of aggression. Like he just might not be built for that moment, dude. Like he really might not be. So I mean, he's basically Lakers Dwight Howard. No, I'm just playing. That's
crazy.
That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful. But first stint Lakers Dwight Howard. So I just think Miami's got the experience. I would probably side with that, even though I think Chicago has been the better team basically for the last 2 months.
I would probably want to watch Miami versus Milwaukee, but I just don't.
I want to watch Bam guard Giannis so bad.
That's pretty much it. And they might give up a better fight. And we saw what the Bulls look like against the Bucks last season.
Milwaukee's going 2-30.
It was rough, and it's going to be rough again, even with how they're playing right now. So, but I still think the Bulls are going to pull it
out. So we want to just start Bucks, whoever you guys have AC?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So for me, Bucks, Bulls, I have Bucks in 5. I think sometimes the Bucks get a little bit lackadaisical. I think they're the best team in the league, but I think sometimes they kind of just rely on being the best team in the league and kind of lull themselves into losses. And I can see the Bulls taking one off of them. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a sweep by any means, but I say Bucks in 5.
If it's the Bulls, it's a sweep. If it's Miami, it's in 5.
Okay.
I got Bucks in 5.
Beautiful.
Regardless.
Yeah. Hey, that's rough.
Maybe 6 with Miami, but Bucks in 5 against the Bulls for sure.
I think this might be the most.
It's the best series of the first round. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this might be the most fun series of the first round. Cavs, Knicks, 4-5. I think the Knicks won the season series 3-1. And so for me, I have Cavs in 6. Partly because I've been saying it to my friend Daniel, big Knicks fan. I've been saying it for months. And so I just got to stand on it now. Cavs in 6. I think the Cavs have a lot of guys, like 4 legitimate guys, 2 on defense, 3 on offense. And I don't know, playoff Julius Randle can get nasty. We've seen it before.
Yeah.
It can get nasty. And so I don't know if I trust Donovan Mitchell in the playoff series more than I trust Julius Randle, I'd say. Evan Mobley's also him on the defensive end. Even though Julius Randle has given him buckets this season, he has. I will say in their regular season matchups, Julius Randle has given Evan Mobley hell. But in a playoff series, you scheme for that. They've known this series is happening for like 3-4 weeks now, so they've had plenty of time to scheme up how to stop Julius Randle. Jalen Brunson, I would be crazy not to mention him. He's been, for large stretches of the season, the Knicks' best player. And so, yeah, I think that it's going to be an absolute battle. I wouldn't be surprised if it went 7. I'm not saying the Knicks have no chance. I, again, wouldn't be shocked if they won, but I'm not going to pick against Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen. I just can't do it. I think they have too much firepower at the end of the day. So I'm taking Cavs in 6.
Cavs in 6. I got Cavs in 7. I just think that the Knicks can put up a good fight. They're a physical team. I think Brunson is very, very good. I think he probably is the better of Garland at this point. Mm-hmm. But Don has proven to be a phenomenal playoff basketball player. And I'm always, or at least more often than not, going to side with the guy who has proven that he can explode whenever he wants, especially in the playoffs, and carry that load. So, yeah, I'll go with the Cavs.
Yeah, I'm going Cavs in 7. It's mostly because of Mitchell. I think Riff had an interesting point about there being pressure on Garland, which is an interesting perspective to have. And I'm interested to see how he's going to look against the Knicks. But I think the Knicks are great. I would love to see them in the second round. I just don't think they're going to pull it out against the Cavs. I think the Cavs are a great matchup for them. And again, going back to Mitchell, he's proven. He is so proven, especially when it gets to the playoffs. And I think that's going to carry him over to the edge.
Yeah. So cool. We all have the same second round series so far, but we'll just get to the first. 76ers Nets, 3-6. I am taking the Sixers in 5. I think these two teams played with this current iteration of the Nets one time, and it was the first game after the deadline. The 76ers won. It was that game where Spencer Dinwiddie hit like that half-court 3, but it just barely was off. And so the 76, the Nets pushed them, and that was before they got any type of cohesion. But I just feel like Joel Embiid he's a force. Nick Claxton plays great defense, but Joel Embiid's a force. Playoff Harden, say what you want to say. He has not been as bad as everyone likes to say, like to shit on him for. He has not been as bad as people like to say. And Now he's not even the number one option.
Game really put that on him.
And now he's not even the number one option. Tyrese Maxey, whatever he wants to do in the series. I'm going to end up taking the Sixers in 5. I think the Nets have a lot of nice pieces, a lot of wings. They got like Mikal Bridges has been really, really good. He was been good all season, but he's taken another leap on the offensive end specifically since he came to the Nets because he's been tasked to do more and he's stepped up to the challenge. I say that what happened?
Imagine if the Nets had Kevin Durant. That'd be
insane. Insane. But yeah, I think they have a lot of they have Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges, Spencer Dinwiddie does his thing, DFS does his thing, Seth Curry off the bench,
Edmund Sumner, dude, say the name.
Edmund Sumner, Cam Thomas dropping 40. And so yeah, I'm taking Nick Claxton. Obviously, I'm gonna take the 76ers in 5, but I wouldn't be shocked if it went 6. I think the Nets are not to be messed with. I think they're they can compete.
Yeah. Nets are 11-14 since the break.
Yep.
But I still think they take 2 off of Philly. And I mostly just because of like the amount of versatile wings they have and the defensibility. I think they can make it harder on James and just about anybody else. In this series, Maxey is a little undersized for what they roll out usually.
Got Tobias Harris. He's been playing good this season.
I don't care nothing about no Tobias Harris, dude. He is ass. I hate Tobias Harris. I hate watching him play basketball. So yeah, no, I'm not going to talk about Tobias Harris. So yeah, I think that size kind of favors them just a little bit to the point that they can get 2 wins. So I got Philly in 6.
I think 3 and D wings are really hard to come across. Probably the hardest thing to come across in the league, and they got 3 of them. So
just a surplus of 3 wings.
So who you got, Khalil? No way.
He's not gonna say that. No, trust me, he's not.
No,
I know better.
No way.
What do you mean?
You're not gonna pick the
Who
Nets.
You got 76 and Nets. What's your series?
Why am I not gonna pick the Nets?
Because you're a logical human being. I'm not listening to that bullshit talking about the Nets.
Promise you, I really want to pick the Nets.
My ass.
I said I really want to pick the Nets. Well, you gonna walk out?
Pick them. Pick them, bro.
I was about to say you gonna walk out.
Pick them.
You're gonna treat like the never mind Aaron Rodgers conversation about being generational. Anyways,
pick them. I'll clip it.
Nets in 7.
No way. You're not dead ass though.
Nets in 7.
You're dead ass. That's your real prediction.
Nets in 7.
Oh, you gotta tell me why.
If Embiid loses this series, brother, he'll never sniff MVP again.
Yeah,
never again.
Never.
I do have my hesitations with that, of course. I know it's the Nets. The record does say a lot about them. Of course, it's a new team. You still have Jack Vaughn being a new coach as well in his first season officially, though. But still, I do like this team a lot. I think they have a lot of versatility, especially on the defensive end. And I love what Embiid's done this season. He's been amazing, and he's been very dominant, and he has what it takes to dominate a team like this. Of course, you talked about Claxton being who he has on the defensive side and had a lot of Defensive Player of the Year traction earlier in the season, and that was real. And then Embiid's going to be a handful for him, of course. But I just think that the Nets can pull this out. I don't trust the Sixers a whole bunch yet. I don't trust the Sixers a whole bunch yet. I'm gonna go with the Nets in 7 to pull it out. I do have my hesitations with the offensive end a little bit as well for the Nets and the defensive end guarding Embiid.
TikTok,
but sure. I have the Nets pulling it out in 7.
Okay. Hey, when I say the Lakers win now, I don't want to hear nothing because you're talking about Nets over Sixers. Okay, so we got Celtics, Boston. I wanted to pick a sweep so bad, and I ended up landing on this one. I'm going Celtics and 4. They don't got nothing for Jason Tatum. I don't think they really got much for Jaylen Brown, to be honest.
DeAndre Hunter series, baby.
DeAndre Hunter, DeJounte Murray, they're gonna do their thing. The Hawks have been much better with Quinn Snyder as their head coach, so I give them that. But I'm not gonna sit here and say that I think there's gonna be a massive discrepancy in talent throughout the series. But I said earlier, I think the Celtics are in a different stratosphere than a lot of the teams in the East, and so I feel like they proved that. I feel like they also know that they're going to get that Sixers matchup next series, and they're going to want to have a little bit of time to rest before they go up in there. So they're going to want to get the Hawks up out of here. So I'm going to say Boston in 4.
I got Boston in 5. I think Trey gets you a game.
I got Boston.
I thought KD got people a game, but
I've always stuck to Trey getting me a game. So,
I got Boston in 5. I think the Celtics have at least one game where they just kind of make some really stupid mistakes, and just give it to the Hawks.
Team that likes to just play bad one day.
It's so weird. Like they just forget how to dribble. They don't know how to shoot. It's just really weird. And the coaching situation has been weird too, but it's fine. So I think Boston in 5.
Boom. So we'll go back to now the semis. We have the same semis at least. We have Bucks Cavs. Tell me, what are y'all doing with this Bucks Cavs?
Bucks in 6. I think Cleveland can give them a good game. I think defensively, that's probably the best team to deal with Giannis. When you can throw Mobley and Allen at him and see what that looks like. The problem is Brooks spreading the floor, and then Giannis is absolutely abusing Mobley for just off like pure strength alone for 40 minutes. But at the end of the day, Drew's going to make it tough for Don. I just like what the Bucks do all the time. I think they're great defensively. I'll say that if Middleton, because he's been unhealthy still, he's still not really healthy and ready to go. If Middleton's not ready to go, this is going to be a 7-game series, because Middleton is a playoffs games just have a way of being close. And 100%. Middleton, Drew is kind of taking over as like the fourth quarter, like create offense guy. But I think that Middleton, they'll need him in this series deeply. Yeah. So
what you got, Khalil?
I actually have Bucks in 6. I think it's a great point about the Middleton thing. I could see it going to 7, but I have Bucks in 6 if everything's well. It's well.
Yep, that makes us 3 for 3. I also have Bucks in 6 making the Eastern Conference Finals. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I think they're the best team in the league. I think the Cavs do have the bodies to make it hard on them, specifically Giannis. But I mean, teams make it hard on Giannis all the time, and he's the best player in the league. So
you build the wall that don't work.
I'm not taking it. So Giannis, Bucks make the Eastern Conference Finals. Khalil, I'm gonna let you take this one because it's Celtics Nets. So talk to me. Who you got?
I got Boston in 6.
6.
I got Boston in 6.
Whoa. So not only do the Nets beat the MVP 76ers
in 7 games,
but they go and they take the Celtics 6. Okay.
Somebody's gonna be fiending to be on the Nets after this run.
That's what I'm saying. John Bond is getting a multi-year extension if they do this.
Good God. Boston against Philly. I got Boston in 7.
I got Boston in 7 as well. I think this is where the 76ers joyride ends. And like I said, if Embiid averages the same amount next year and they get clapped by the Celtics in the second round, he's going to be an MVP conversation. So it doesn't matter. I think the Celtics are on a war path to get back to another finals. And I don't think the 76ers are going to stand in the way of that, to be completely honest. So I also think they match up decently well with them. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Celtics in 7. That leaves us with the same Eastern Conference Finals. I think everyone thinks it comes down to this. The Bucks, the Celtics. I personally have the Bucks in 7. I think it is going to be a fucking banger of a series. I think it's going to go back and forth. Bucks do have home court advantage, which I don't believe they had last year when these two teams played. So they did that weird shit at the end of the season to try and get the right matchup, ended up losing home court advantage. But I do think the Celtics have given the Bucks trouble. Like the Celtics they just blew them out by 50 a couple games, like 2 weeks ago. But I think that in the playoffs, it's a whole different atmosphere. I think Giannis is motivated. Obviously, I think Tatum is motivated. I think both teams have some dogs. But at the end of the day, in a series like this, when it's this close, best player, best team, Giannis, Bucks, go to the finals for me.
Bucks in 6. Not that Boston's not amazing. I think Boston's probably, offensive rating wise have been better. Defensive rating, they've been really good. Bucks have struggled with their offensive rating a little bit, but by this time, if they made it this far, I would hope to God Chris Middleton is at least somewhat healthy. And then it comes to matchups, I don't think they have anybody to deal with Giannis. I think that we used to do the Horford thing. That's not relevant anymore.
Grant Williams, remember he was the Giannis stopper for a couple of games.
Anyways,
he was good. He was good.
He was good.
Yeah, he's fine. So I'll take Giannis. I'll take Giannis and the Bucks. I think Drew probably takes the Jaylen Brown matchup more often than not. And then you just kind of throw bodies at Tatum. I'd love to see Giannis try to take that challenge in this series. But if they're running Horford and whoever out there, it's going to be kind of tough for him.
Is that without Middleton even?
No. If
Middleton, this is all assuming
Chris Middleton. No, I'm just curious what you say.
If Middleton's not healthy, then I got Celtics in 6.
Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. I got Bucks in 6, by the way, as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And if they didn't have Middleton?
If they didn't have Middleton, Bucks in 7.
Nice.
Ooh.
Stick to
there
it.
We go. So we got the Bucks. They were my preseason chip winners. Not anymore though. So moving to the Western Conference.
I mean, shit, dude.
Moving to the Western Conference. Who y'all got winning the play-in? I have the Timberwolves. I think Ant Edwards is gonna go on a revenge path because he shit the bed versus us. And so I think Ant Edwards is gonna do nasty things to Shea and the Thunder. And so yeah, I have Timberwolves, Nuggets. Who y'all got?
I got the Thunder.
Got you.
I think Rudy, there was a report he still might not play even against the Thunder, which
I think he was questionable. Or
he said something about back spasms. I think the Timberwolves respond decently well, and they pull it out here and beat the Thunder.
Cool. So Thunder Wolves for me. I think the Wolves are. If they had Jaden McDaniels, I really think they can give the Nuggets problems. I think they're gonna give them a little bit of problems regardless. I'm taking Nuggets in 6. This is the Timberwolves, obviously not the same iteration, but they gave the Grizzlies problems last year. Took the Grizzlies 6 games to beat them. Granted, they were 2 seed, 7 seed back then, but I'm still. I don't think the Nuggets are as nice as everyone thinks. I think they're a little bit
nice in general.
I think they're a little bit fraudy. I think they're a little bit fraudy. And so I don't think they get bounced by any means in the first round. That would be nuts. But I do think that the Timberwolves give them a little bit of issues. But I got Nuggets in 6.
So I did go Thunder. I'm gonna go Nuggets in 7.
Oh shit! If Shea pushes the Nuggets 7,
this is my thing. One, Lou Dort is a nightmare for Jamal Murray.
Torture chamber, you feel me?
Yeah, he's a nightmare for Jamal. On top of other big wings that they can just throw out there. If Chet was playing, I would pick the Thunder. So Shea is unreal. His efficiency is unreal. What he does at the rim. And Jokic, you gave us the stat. They're going to have trouble dealing with Shea. It's not like they've got a bunch of stoppers out there in Denver. And in terms of the Thunder, I think Giddey is an issue. I mean, just their size in general. Jalen Williams, the other Jalen Williams. They just have a flurry of guys who are NBA talents, who are rotational players in NBA. It's kind of like Brooklyn in a sense, like guys who would play on every NBA team. We're like the 10th man on the roster. I think the depth becomes an issue. I think Shea pushes them 7.
I mean, these two teams, they played 4 times this season, and the Nuggets won 3 of them, but they were all close games. And the last time they played was in January, so it's not like the Nuggets were tanking back or like trying to lose back then. So the Thunder won by 2 in January. They took them to OT in November. And then the Nuggets won by 12, and then the Nuggets won by 6. So it's been a close set of games all 4 times. So I would be shocked if they took them 6. Who you got, Khalil?
I got Nuggets in 7.
Nuggets in 7. Damn. So none of us believe in the Nuggets. Okay. I see what's happening here. All right. So Nuggets in 6 or 7. We then move down to Phoenix Clippers. This is a beautiful series. I wish we would have got Golden State. Phoenix.
Real quick.
Talking.
Shea this year is 33, 7, and 5 in 4 games against the Nuggets.
That's crazy. That's what I'm saying.
And he has shot 46, 77, 40, and 63% against them.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
That's stupid.
What are we doing? They don't got nobody for it.
No, he's going to give them problems. And defensively, he's an issue for Jamal as well. So I think the X factor in that series for the Nuggets in general, this whole playoff run is Jamal Murray. It's not Jokic.
Doesn't get nearly enough credit for his defense. He's the only guard in the NBA to average a steal and a block. Like that's
he's unreal.
Only guard. Not even Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday has mad steals. You just don't block shit.
You're taking Shea over Ja?
Ooh.
You remember these TikToks? Remember this TikTok? I was Shea over Ja?
That's a great question. I would. Yeah, I would take Shea over Ja. I would take Shea over Ja.
So Shea over Book?
No, I wouldn't take Shea over
Book. You would?
Not yet.
I would.
Wow.
I wouldn't.
What Shea does defensively on top of the efficiency that he scores with, obviously Booker being able to stretch the floor and shoot the way he does is unreal. But I can tell you that Booker has never been a point to carry a team like this Thunder team to the playoffs.
So Shea over Don?
If I had to pick one, I would take Shea.
So do we count Shea as a 2?
Yeah, he's a 2 to me.
So he's the best shooting guard.
Agreed.
To me, yeah.
Okay. All right. That's a TikTok. So we have
throw it in there.
No, I'm just saying it was concise, so it's beautiful.
Yeah.
We got the 4 Suns versus the 5 Clippers. I wish we would have got 4 Suns, 5 Warriors. I feel like that would have been a 6 series. And it would have gave you a little bit more parity because everyone's picking the Warriors over the Kings. At least in this series, people would have been up and down. But I personally, I said this on Twitter, without Paul George, I think the Suns dog walk the Clippers. I got Suns in 5. I know people are like, oh, Kawhi is gonna be a robot. Whatever you want to say, I think he gets him 1 game. You're counting on Norm Powell and Ivica Zubats and Eric Gordon to give the Suns
and
buckets.
Russell Westbrook.
Oh, and we know what Russell Westbrook teams look like in the playoffs, bro. Come on, we know what Russell Westbrook. He had Harden on the other side, and what was we doing? We was playing 4v5. They was playing 4v5 offense. What are we talking about? So I'm gonna go ahead and take the Suns in 5. I think Kawhi gets you a game and maybe even not that. So I'm gonna go ahead.
Do we know how long PG's out for sure?
I think it's announced that he's gonna miss the series. I thought he was supposed to miss the series.
Is he? Okay. He might maybe then.
I had heard that he's gonna give it a go. So
I thought he was gonna miss the beginning.
I think if PG plays, this is a 7-game series.
He's out for the start of it. He's out for the start of it.
Yeah, I mean, so what if you lose the first 2 games? You're supposed to lose those. Series starts when somebody wins one on the road, right?
That's true. So you think it goes 7 or PG?
No. I mean, I don't know if we had a healthy PG, I'm just not rhetorical, but like a make-believe situation. If he was healthy, I think it would be a 7-game series. In the shape they're in, I'd probably go Phoenix in 6.
Suns in 5.
Beautiful.
Pretty handedly.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think it's that close. And maybe that's just my Clippers hate, but
Suns in 6 if PG is there probably. But
if PG plays, I say Suns in 6.
Just what does he look like at that point?
Yeah, we know he's rushed back at this point. So
and when does he come back? So it's Suns in 5.
If he comes back and they up 3-0, it's like, okay, what are we doing? Just give it up, brother. So we got Kings Warriors. I think everyone and their mother is picking the Warriors. And I also am, but I don't think it's going to be as easy as everyone's making it sound. I think it's going to be Warriors in 7. I think the Kings are going to push them. I think people are thinking that this is the same Warriors team as we saw last year, and it's just not. Even with Wiggins, they were 19 and 18. It's not like with Wiggins, they were world beaters. They were still struggling, and they're horrible on the road. And guess what? They don't have home court advantage. So granted, they won 2 road games at the end of the season, clutched up. But
so when they win game 1 on the road, what's the conversation going to be?
When they win game, I mean, it's the playoffs.
I can't explain how nervous is De'Aaron Fox, the Kings going to be in general to go play the Warriors.
I think they're going to be hyped. I think they're going to be turned.
I'd be scared.
They ain't had a playoff game in 16 years.
That'd be scared shitless.
They're going to light that motherfucking beam, boy. Trying to light the beam. But I'm taking Kings in 7. The Kings do like their offense is not. I'm chatting. I'm taking Warriors in 7.
Okay.
I think the Kings offense is not fluky. They had the best offense in the league for a wide majority of the season. I just don't think the Kings are going to be able to do anything with Steph Curry. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the Warriors in 7. I wouldn't be shocked if it was 6, but I'm taking Warriors in 7.
Warriors. They're gonna win that mug in 5.
Oh, okay.
It's not even gonna be really like a close series. I think they'll probably blow them out twice.
Oh shit! All right, you talking heavy? Okay. Khalil, who you got?
Yeah, I texted you about this earlier, Jay. There's this dude on Twitter for the Kings. He's like Kings Media Talk or something like that. He magically had the Kings playing top 10, top 5 defense just because it's the playoffs. Like that makes no sense to me. Like he was just so confident.
There's only 12 teams, so I mean they got a chance.
Yeah, they got a chance to relative to the playoffs. Yeah, for sure. I just had the Warriors in 5. I just think the experience is there. Steph Curry, like, what are you going to do with him? He talked about, having a plan and also being able to make adjustments, Mike Brown being there as a coach. Like, I just don't think that's enough. The personnel's not there. The offense is going to be great. It should be a really fun series to watch. I just don't think they can do anything with Steph Curry. And the
Kings
Warriors
can't do anything with anybody.
They're the worst defense.
Horrible. They gave up 140 to the Spurs.
Yeah, so
that's
it's just
crazy.
Warriors in 5.
So now we move to Lakers Grizzlies. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about this one. Who do y'all got in this?
I've got the Grizzlies in 6.
Not really
fine, bro.
Really tell me why though, bro, because just listen, like whenever people say that the Lakers can't contend, right? The reason is like, oh, what have they done? Look at how they played for the entirety of the season. They're a 7 seed. I don't think the Lakers are a typical 7 seed. Like, you can't judge this team now based on what we did before the deadline. I truly think they are 2 completely different teams. And the health thing, like, I'm not gonna predict injury. So if we go,
that's fine.
That's fair. That's fair.
If you were a betting man, you would bet injury. So just say
basketball reasons. I don't really hear many people say, "Give me a basketball."
Listen at
reason.
me. Let me talk. Damn. Number 1, defensively, we're not great. Our and Nas just talked about it ad nauseum on Twitter. Our POA defense, our point of attack defense is shit.
It's the most infuriating thing.
So let me tell you what Ja's going to do every time he catches it. Run a straight line. Give one good carry and run a straight line past whoever's there. And it's not going to.
We played him earlier. He had like 29 and a quarter.
Yeah. So Ja's going to absolutely lose his mind this whole series. On top of them being a better shooting team, Desmond Bane being the best shooter in the series. Jaren Jackson is probably the best matchup for a guy like AD, although AD gets the nod there. Triple J's expanded offensively, especially in Ja's absence. I think he's probably got a little more confidence on that side of the ball. I love Tyus Jones. I think he's probably the better of the backup guards that are out there. I would take Tyus Jones to Dennis. I would take Tyus Jones to Reeves, and there's a chance I would take Tyus Jones to D'Angelo Russell on a night-to-night basis. And if D'Angelo looks like he did in the last game, we are rocked. We are screwed. So because D'Lo is our quote-unquote shooter at this point, Malik Beasley wasn't even on the floor for like 20 minutes because he just hasn't found it in LA, which is typical. That's what happens to people who come to the Lakers. On top of that, LeBron is not the LeBron he was when we won the championship. Defensively, he can have moments. Defensively, he can contribute. The IQ is still there. I still hate the clips that I'm seeing of him losing Taurean Prince. We're playing a zone.
Bro, we were talking about that.
Yeah, but we're playing a zone. He's playing he's playing his area. Does that mean he gave maximum effort to close out once he saw it happen? No. But he's playing his area.
He did once it got closer, like
yeah.
full court over. Oh yeah,
that's LeBron. Yeah, that's what LeBron does. So yeah, LeBron when it matters, you hope it's there.
So maybe they'll treat it like that in the playoffs.
Yeah, so if LeBron can do that for 48 minutes, then shout out to the Lakers. They've lost in 7.
You really? I would not be able to tell you're a fan, bro. You're gonna be hyped when we win, though. I can't. wait.
No, am I rooting for the Lakers? 100%.
I can't wait to be hyped with you, bro.
Yeah, I can't wait. But at the end of the day, my logical basketball brain, who refuses to be biased towards the Lakers or LeBron or Anthony Davis, somebody's gonna get hurt. We're not gonna be able to shoot. LeBron hadn't been able to shoot all year. He has like one game every 16 games where he hits 5, and then that's it. At the end of the day, I just don't see it going well. I just don't see it going well. And I think that our defense is so atrocious at point of attack, and especially for dealing with guys like Ja at the rim guards. Think about how Shea has eaten us up this year. We're going to be in trouble. So, yeah. I got Grizz in 6.
I have the Lakers in 7. And there's a lot of good points that Justice made, and I don't feel good about it all the time. I think the Lakers play some really dumb basketball at times too. LeBron hasn't been the same as consistently as you want him to be. Of course, you think about health sometimes, and they're just not a reliable team. You don't always know what you're going to get from them. D'Lo's been, D'Lo that we've seen in the past here recently, unfortunately. But I like this team a lot. I think they made a lot of great changes at the deadline. And I got Lakers in 7, man. Lakers in 7.
I got Lakers in 6. I'm not going to sit here and say a whole bunch of shit, but I think that we are a pretty decent basketball team. I thought we could contend before the Timberwolves game. I know a lot of people did too, and that Timberwolves game scared them off. But if I thought we could contend before that game, I'm not going to let that game change my mind. Like a one game series, anything can happen. The Magic beat the Celtics 3 times. March Madness, you see that all the time. Purdue and Fairleigh Dickinson, shit happens. So
I was praying for a miracle.
shit happens, and so
yeah, but we got to win 4 games, not 1.
We do. But I'm saying us playing bad that game does not make me feel like we can't play good over the stretch of 4-game series. We've been playing must-win games for 2 months now. And so the D'Lo, and we're both our favorite players. He's been really good this season, bro. I promise you he has. That game didn't work out well.
Brother, he came out the gates throwing up bricks.
Shit his pants for sure. Shit ran down his legs all through on the court. It was not a good game.
Yeah, but also last time we saw him in the playoffs. I mean, even last time we saw him in the playoffs too, though. So it doesn't give you a lot of confidence.
Yeah, I love D'Angelo Russell as much or more than just about anybody.
I think this statistically, individually has been the best season of his career since coming to the Lakers. We're scoring 9.6 more points per possession with him on the court than him off. He's been massive for us. And like I said, that game was bad for him, but over the course of his time with us, he has a 58.8 effective field goal percentage, which is second to only Steph Curry when it comes to point guards. The top 5, I will just say, number 5 is his stint with the Timberwolves this season. So the entirety of the season, he's just been pretty good. He had a bad game and a nationally televised game. It happens.
So D'Angelo Russell in the playoffs averages 15 points, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds in 11 playoff games.
Yeah,
his shooting splits are 35.
Let's not forget that first one. He was the best player on that team.
35.
The first one.
He was worse than the second one. He was worse than the second one.
The best player on the team, but now he's just got to be the third best player. Now you just got to catch it and shoot it.
That's all I'm asking. 19 on the first one. He averaged 12 with the second.
That's all I'm asking you to do is catch it and shoot it.
If he's playable, great.
Put Dennis on the floor, dude.
Dennis saved us. But the real reason I think that we can win is I just think that we match up decently with the Grizzlies. I think we do. I think what we do well, we draw the most fouls in the league, obviously. And what the crazy thing is, we draw the most fouls in the league and we give up the least amount of free throws in the league. So the differential in free throws is crazy. And obviously, getting Dillon Brooks and Jaren Jackson Jr. in foul trouble, probably going to be the most important thing for us. We all know Jaren Jackson Jr. foul troubles. He led the league in fouls, playing only 63 games, committed a foul on 4.4% of his team plays, bottom 40th percentile. And so everyone knows Basketball Index. They have this thing called foul trouble percentage. And so it calculates what percentage of the players' minutes they played in foul trouble. It's just crazy. But Jaren Jackson played 10.74% of his minutes in foul trouble. That's the second most of any player in the NBA. Dillon Brooks, 9.85% of his minutes in foul trouble, fourth most of anyone in the NBA. So they have 2 top 5 guys that just foul all the time. And the Lakers take the most free throws of any team in the league. If we made free throws, if we were a better free throw shooting team, we would blow teams out. I promise you. but we just don't make free throws that much. The Grizzlies, on the other hand, they take the 13th most free throws in the league, but they are even shittier at shooting free throws than us. They have the worst free throw percentage in the NBA, and they're the only team in the league to shoot below 74%. They're bottom 5 in free throws made per game. So I just think all in all, the Grizzlies foul a lot, and what we thrive on doing is going to the line and beating teams that way. And if you got Dylan, I know a lot of people talk shit about Dylan Brooks. I think he's a pretty decent perimeter defender. Like, his matchup difficulty, he guards the best players on a night in, night out basis. And he's really good off ball, like running through screens, off ball navigation. He's actually one of the best players in the league at doing so, which is why I think they give the Warriors problems, because he actually is able to stick with Steph doing all that extra shit. But at the end of the day, taking Lakers in 6, man. What are we talking about? I'm not going to sit here and explain it to you. Lakers in 6 for every reason I just said. And I wouldn't be surprised if I think we lose the first one, win the second one, lose the third one, win 3 straight. There we go. Ended in Staples, because 6 is at Staples, I think. So, or crypto, whatever you want to say. So Lakers in 6 for me. Second round, Nuggets, Suns. I'm taking the Suns in 6.
I want Suns in 5.
I was gonna say 5,
but I
ended up with Suns in 6. I just think they're a better team than the Nuggets. The Nuggets, I think, are gonna struggle with the Wolves. So good luck guarding Kevin Durant.
Yeah. Suns in 5.
We have Warriors. For me, I have Warriors, Lakers. Y'all have Warriors. No, me and Khalil have
Warriors, Grizzlies.
Yeah, you have Warriors, Grizzlies. So talk to me. What do you think happens?
Warriors in 7.
Okay. So you have the Warriors in your Western Conference Finals. Khalil, what do you have?
I have Lakers in 7.
Oh shit, we on the same page. I have Lakers in 7. I think we are also a good matchup for the war. Like, I think we match up with the Warriors pretty well. We won the season series 3-1. Granted, I don't take those games into account because they didn't have their full lineup. We didn't have our full lineup. The only time we really played them dead ass was the first game of the season, and we still had Russ. So I don't think these two teams have seen this iteration of each other. So it'll be a knockdown, drag out fight, but I'm taking Lakers in 7. I just think we're a better team than them and have been since the trade. And so then we have Suns. You have Warriors. What? Suns, Warriors. Who you
got? Suns in 6.
Oh, nice.
Suns in 6 over the Warriors. I think that's what most people have. Khalil, what you got? Suns, Lakers. You gonna ride with me, or you getting on the bus?
Lakers in 7.
Oh yeah, we ride. We fucking ride. And I'm taking the Lakers in 7-2. Yeah, you can rub your little head all you want, boy. Lakers in 7. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I have not. If we actually get to this point, I will come on this podcast and explain to you word for word why. I'm going off vibes right now, and I think I'll be completely honest with you. I'm going off vibes right now, and I think the Lakers have proved to us that they can be a really good offensive team. I won't say really good. Since the deadline, we have the 15th best offensive rating, 3rd best defensive rating, 8th best net rating. I think the Lakers have been a really, really good team since the deadline, and I'm not going to sit here and say that 8 games of the Suns going 8-0 with KD makes me believe that they're just all of a sudden a different stratosphere of team than the Lakers. So I'm gonna take the Lakers and I'm taking the Lakers in 7. And for me, I have Bucks, Lakers. Khalil has Bucks, Lakers. You have Suns, Bucks. So who you got?
Bucks in 7.
He's so tired of it.
Bucks in 7. Who's your Finals MVP? Yanni. You're not even talking no more. Khalil, are you getting off the bus, or are we getting to the destination?
Lakers in 7.
Let's go,
bro.
Let's go. Come on.
We've lost all credibility.
Come on.
Nah, bro.
I got Lakers in 7-2. I think we beat the Bucks. A LeBron Giannis Finals is going to be generational, special, sensational. We're talking about King James. We're talking about the greatest basketball player to ever touch a basketball. If you're the GOAT, you do GOAT shit. And that is beating Giannis Antetokounmpo at home in Milwaukee in Game 7.
Big GOAT shit 3 years ago. You ain't doing no more GOAT shit.
For your 5th NBA championship. Lakers in 7. The Lakers are your 2022, 2022, 2023 NBA champions. Justice has the Bucks. And with that, we're going to go ahead and get on up out of here. Actually, wait, I want to do something for TikTok really quick. It'll take super quick. Everybody say the team you have winning the chip and one reason why. So Justice, go first.
I'm not really in camera right now. So let's just go let Khalil go.
All right, wait, I'm going to redo it then. So everybody say the team that you have winning the NBA championship and give me one reason why.
One reason why. I'm trying to think of the best reason I have as far as this.
Well, they're with the TikTok.
What'd you say?
I said they're with the TikTok.
Oh no, yeah, you added it though. My bad.
No, do you think? Go ahead.
You want to do your thing again, and I'll just go.
Oh, all right. So everybody,
let me go, bro. Let me go.
Everybody, give me one team. Everybody, give me the team you have winning the chip, and give me one reason why.
Bucks stifling defense.
I would have taken a sentence, but 2 words are cool.
Oh, my bad. My bad. Hold on. Read. Cut. All right, do it again.
All right, so everybody give me one team. No, all right, so everybody give me the team you got winning the chip and give me one reason why.
I've got the Bucks, elite defensive abilities, especially with rim protection and what Drew Holiday offers on a night-to-night basis.
Khalil, who you got?
I got the Lakers in 7. I think they still have a very versatile and deep rotation. And then you got LeBron James and AD coming up big for you.
I also, this is going to be a tough TikTok. I also have the Lakers winning the chip. For me, like I said earlier, no one has given me a legitimate basketball reason. I think we have size. I think we have star power. I think we have shooting when it's on. I think we have depth. I think we have defense. I think we've been better offensively since the trade. And goats do goat shit. So I'm taking LeBron. And with that, we're going to go ahead and head on up out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Run It Up podcast. It was a banger. Make sure you guys subscribe to Run It Up Podcast on Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Spotify. Follow us on TikTok at the Run It Up Podcast. Follow us on Twitter at Run It Up Pod. Follow me on Instagram. Nope, not on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter at @NajAdams_. Khalil's at below 44. Justice is at JReed2. Leave the 5-star rating and reviews on the podcast and all that good shit. If you're watching the video version, leave a comment. Say what's up. I hope you have a litty day, a litty night, a litty life. And just like we do on every episode of this podcast, make sure y'all go run it up.